So a couple of years ago, Apple went ahead and kind of created a brand new lineup for themselves. And it's funny because a lot of people may kind of forget about this specific iPhone, the original iPhone SE. Now, I think most people know about the iPhone SE3, the iPhone SE2, but the iPhone SE1 is one of those devices that I hear very few people talk about anymore. And I think this mostly has to do with the release of the iPhone 12 mini. After that iPhone, a lot of people's, the small iPhone, kind of people who wanted a smaller iPhone, those people ended up buying that iPhone as well as the iPhone SE2's release. But after I picked up my iPhone SE1, a couple of months ago, I think about a month and a half ago, I was surprised to see how great of a job iOS 15 was doing on this smaller iPhone. This is technically the smallest size screen or one of the smallest size screens for an iOS 15 device besides the iPod. And what's so crazy to me is that the iPhone SE, out of pretty much all the iPhones that I ran with, was doing the best job on iOS 15, which is so crazy. Now, the reason I say probably most people forget about this is because they focus more on the iPhone SE2 and the iPhone SE3, and those are really good selling iPhones. The SE3 just came out, and that's probably going to sell extremely well. And with the iPhone SE1, this iPhone didn't really sell a crazy amount, which is very interesting. You do have to keep in mind that during Apple's lineup as of this point, they typically sold the flagships of that time, which were the 6S and 6S Plus, and I think they would have like a 6 or 6 Plus still lingering there, at a lower price point, very similar to how they have the iPhone 11s and stuff. But even the SE, it didn't really sell a crazy amount as far as I can tell, but I'm sure they still sold very well. But with the iPhones in the future, a lot of people ended up loving this specific device, and they love the size, they love the cheaper price tag, and they just love the concept about this phone. And when compared to something like an iPhone 6S, I was shocked to see that the iPhone SE, in my opinion, was an overall better phone in a majority of the areas than the iPhone 6S. And that's what's so crazy. You would never think that a phone like the iPhone SE would be better in any way than its flagship that it was kind of copying from. And in this case, in my opinion, it was. And it's funny because most people, I would say in the last 2-3 years, haven't really been talking about this iPhone too much, which is totally, expected as of this point. Things like this happen all the time. A phone comes and a phone goes. But when it was this great of a device, the iPhone SE was very, very good. Even now, whenever I really did anything with it, it was handling everything I was throwing at it perfectly well, which I would not expect. But that kind of comes at a cost. This iPhone is not going to be supported for that much longer, and that's where this device is kind of in an interesting spot. I don't necessarily think it's a waste of money anymore, but because it is at its end of life for the most part, you're going to be stuck in a situation where this iPhone is probably not going to be getting supported with software, and you're probably going to have an iPhone that is probably going to be, end of life at that point. So in my opinion, I love the original iPhone SE. I think it was a great device when it first came out, and even now I think it's a really interesting device for sure. So that kind of covers it. If you guys have any other questions or anything, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly, everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.